The purpose of this presentation is to remind all Miami employees that you have a duty to report allegations of harassment and discrimination based on protected class status, sexual misconduct, and retaliation. For any questions pertaining to this presentation or any other questions about the Office of Equity and Equal Opportunity, feel free to reach out to Kenya Ash, who is Miami's Title IX Coordinator and Associate Vice President of Equity and Equal Opportunity. All employees have a duty to report any allegations of harassment, discrimination, sexual misconduct, or retaliation that they become aware of. Duty to report refers to alleged violations of the sexual misconduct protocols and the policy prohibiting harassment and discrimination. This duty to report includes administrators, supervisors, managers, and all faculty and all staff. This also includes graduate assistants, resident assistants, student orientation leaders, and student managers in campus services. This presentation will explain how and why to report. Your requirements as a Miami employee to report allegations of harassment, discrimination, or sexual misconduct are explicit in several Miami policies. In addition to the standalone duty to report policy, this requirement is also stated in the policy prohibiting harassment and discrimination, the sexual misconduct protocol for students, as well as the sexual misconduct protocol for employees and other non-students. You can find these policies in Miami's policy library, and if you have questions about these policies, please feel free to reach out. This slide includes several important points about duty to report that employees are often confused about. Many people are concerned that a report will automatically trigger an investigation, even if the complainant does not want to take that action. However, once a report is received, OEEO, the Title IX coordinator, or the Deputy Title IX coordinator will first reach out to the complainant to provide support services and explain their options, and the complainant will have an opportunity to decide what actions to take. An investigation is not necessary for every report, but every allegation needs to be reported in order to determine the most appropriate response. Your duty to report is triggered as soon as you become aware of the allegations, regardless of if you believe the allegations are true or not. Even if you do not know all of the relevant information, you need to report what you do know. You do not need to investigate any further. Do not assume that someone else has already reported the incident. In order to satisfy your duty to report, you must make a report. There are limited exemptions to the duty to report, such as for licensed counselors or for information learned during programs such as Take Back the Night or under IRB approved research. And if you are the victim, it is your choice to report or not. This slide provides a quick reference for where to report depending on the type of incident. For example, if you become aware of an allegation of discrimination, harassment, or retaliation based on protected class, that can be reported to Kenya Ash at the Office of Equity and Equal Opportunity. Also, for any sexual misconduct allegations or sexual harassment and interpersonal violence involving employees or non-students, that can also be reported to Kenya Ash, who, as you recall, is the university's Title IX coordinator. For sexual misconduct and interpersonal violence involving students, particularly on the Oxford and Luxembourg campuses, you can report those allegations to the Deputy Title IX coordinator, Allison Kumar. For sexual misconduct and interpersonal violence involving students on the regional campuses, which includes Hamilton, Middletown, and Voice of America, those reports can go to Benice Hamilton, who is the Deputy Title IX coordinator as well. A report can be made via email, via phone, in person, or using an online reporting form. Online reporting forms can be found in various locations on Miami's website. We will show you a few of them. The easiest way to find reporting options, including for sexual assault, for bias incidents, and for anonymous ethics reporting, is by clicking Reports and Incidents on the Office of Institutional Diversity and Inclusion's homepage or the My Miami homepage. The Dean of Students has a page dedicated to Title IX information and support services for students, including a link for filing a report. OEEO has a reporting form available on their webpage, along with information regarding investigative processes. These are the possible violations of the Sexual Misconduct Protocol for students or the Sexual Misconduct Protocol for employees and other non-students. They may also be violations of Title IX, which is a federal regulation that prohibits discrimination on the basis of sex at educational institutions such as Miami. Much more information can be found in the Sexual Misconduct Protocols, or you can also reach out to OEEO or a Title IX coordinator. Remember, if you become aware of sexual harassment, sexual assault, dating violence, domestic violence, stalking, sexual exploitation, indecent exposure, or retaliation, please report it. Miami prohibits harassment or discrimination based on all of these listed protected classes: age, color, disability, gender identity or gender expression, genetic information, military status, national origin or ancestry, pregnancy, race, religion, sex or gender, status as a parent or foster parent, sexual orientation, and protected veteran status. Every one of us belongs to many of these protected classes. Once again, retaliation is also prohibited and must be reported. More information can be found in Miami's policy prohibiting harassment and discrimination, or you can also reach out to OEEO with any questions or to make a report. Thank you for paying attention to this important information. Your awareness and your reporting is what gives us the ability to address these issues when they occur on our campuses and in our communities. For any questions pertaining to this presentation or any other questions about OEEO procedures, feel free to call 513-529-7157 or email oeeo@miamioh.edu.